Hi, my name is Sean Canoni from the Homeless Newswire Service, the Homeless Voice newspaper, and the Homeless Voice TV, known as HV.TV. Every year, the National Coalition for the Homeless releases basically a report about the hate, attacks, and murder that's committed towards the homeless. This basically today gives us a 10-year trend of all the reports they've done the last 10 years. We're going to go over the 2008 statistics for the whole entire country. In the year 2008, there was a total of 106 attacks towards the homeless. 79 of them were non-lethal attacks, and 27 of them resulted in deaths. These deaths are not normal deaths. Usually they are vicious attacks. Sometimes people are decapitated, lit on fire, pushed in rivers as they slept, and they die very, very sadly. The majority of the crimes are committed by mostly teens. Out of the entire report for the whole country, it seems that Florida is the most dangerous state towards the homeless. More attacks occur in Florida than any other state, and the last 4 years in a row, from the year 2005 to 2008, Florida is known as the most dangerous state. I want to give you a little history there. In 2005, there was 9 separate incidences in 7 cities, resulting in 1 death and 31 non-lethal attacks, making it a grand total of 32 attacks. Florida was number 1 back in 2005. In the year 2006, there was 42 separate attacks, 18 cities, resulting in 8 deaths and 48 non-lethal attacks, for a grand total of 48 attacks towards the homeless in the year 2006, ranking Florida as the most dangerous state in that report as well. In the year 2007, there were 29 separate incidences in 13 cities, resulting in 6 deaths and 25 non-lethal acts, for a grand total of 31. Again, Florida was number 1. For this year, 2008, there was 21 separate incidences in 10 cities, resulting in 3 deaths and 27 non-lethal attacks, making a grand total of 30. Again, Florida is the most dangerous state for the year 2008. Now, there's a trend involved in these hate crimes, and we're going to call them hate crimes because we call them hate crimes, but unfortunately, society and our lawmakers don't call them hate crimes. There's something called hate crime statutes. There's federal laws to protect certain groups of people, and when you hurt these groups of people, it is considered a hate crime. Now, I just want to read this to you real quick. Kids are attacking the homeless for no other reason but because they can get away with it. And in many cases, they are stabbed, caught on fire, when they slept, they're pushed in rivers. During the time period of 1999 to 2008, there was 94 murders committed against others who were not homeless but were considered protected classes of people under hate crime statutes. So, during that 10-year period from 1999 to 2008, there was 94 murders that were committed against people all together from all the hate crime classifications. But yet, when you look at that same period, for homeless people, 245 homeless people were viciously murdered. My friends, I have to ask the question. When you combine all the other cases of 94 people compared to 245 for one classification, why are the homeless not a protected class of people? There are congressmen right now in the state of Florida and elsewhere that are working on making the homeless a protected class of people. And we thank you very much for that, by the way. During this press conference, we're telling people that there's reasoning of why these attacks are occurring. And there seems to be a trend. The National Coalition also releases a mean city or a mean state report every year. And it just so happens Florida, again, is a mean state. Out of all the states in the United States, Florida is the meanest state. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means that Florida passes lots of laws that target the homeless people. For instance, no public sleeping, no panhandling, no feeding the poor, no feeding the homeless in city parks. We have to ask the question, if a mayor is instructing his residents of the city, hey, don't feed the homeless, and in some cases, if you do feed the homeless, you're going to go to jail for it to be arrested. That's a crime that targets the homeless. So when the kids hear a mayor saying something like that, does it say to the kids that there's dehumanization involved, that we're putting a teensy bit of value of a homeless person's life? Because, hey, it's all right. We're not going to feed them. Florida and cities in Florida don't like to open up homeless shelters. In most cases, it takes an act of God to establish a homeless shelter in the state of Florida. And we hear these commissioners and mayors saying things like, oh, I don't want the homeless in my community. It's going to lower real estate values. Oh, they're a bunch of bums. Oh, they're going to kill my children. They're sexual offenders. That's unfounded information, okay, first of all. Yes, homeless people commit crimes, but usually crimes such as public urination, our open container laws, our panhandling, our aggressive panhandling, and so forth. Yes, there are some crimes that they commit are serious, but they don't really mess up a community. But when a kid hears a elected official, a mayor, saying, hey, I don't want this homeless shelter in my city, it's got to put a bad taste in their mouth to think that, hey, it's all right for me to go out tonight and beat the hell out of a homeless person, because who's going to care? And it's also importantly interesting that we need to understand is that these are not homeless on homeless crimes or homeless on homeless attacks. These figures come from housed individuals, people who have their own home or live in an apartment or their own little state, who go out and viciously attack a homeless person, in some cases, killing them. Also, it is interesting that the attacks are done by young teens, which is very sad. I think our youngest case is about 9 or 10 years old, who threw a brick and hit a homeless person in the head and killed him. Florida also, the National Coalition for the Homeless also did a survey. They went out in a survey of homeless people, and they asked the homeless people, did they participate in any attacks? Did anybody hurt them? And then the next question was asked, well, did you report it? As a criminal justice person myself, we know that crimes are underreported in this country for several reasons. Sometimes people think there's no way to catch the assailants, or they didn't get a good look at the subject, or maybe they don't want to meet with law enforcement because they have their own issues. Well, homeless people don't want to meet with law enforcement either, because they are wanted for small crimes such as trespassing or open container warrants, because they didn't have an address to get a court date. So right off the bat, a homeless person doesn't want to go call the police and say, hey, look, I've been beat up, because when that police officer runs them, they're going to be wanted. And the police and the homeless have not historically had a good friendship relationship. There are some police departments making some outstanding plans out there and outstanding programs to improve the relationships where it can help the homeless in the long run. But I want to give you some other stats, too, as far as the age group of people who are committing these things. And it's basically under the age of 43% of attacks against homeless people were committed by teens, ages from 13 to 19. 73% of those accused or convicted attackers were under the age of 25. We also know that kids out there are making bumfuck videos. Our professionals are making these bum videos, we'll call them, where it dehumanizes the homeless person. So right away, now we're putting on the internet DVDs and videos of people beating up homeless people. And it's all right. Parents, if you're out there, and you see your kid laughing, watching some video online, you see it's a homeless person being degraded, stop the video, because I can assure you, the parents of the attackers historically, when we catch the kids, the police catch the kids, none of them had any idea or notion in their mind that their kid was going to go out and clobber a homeless person to death or light one on fire. They had no previous thoughts that this was going to occur. So, it's happening because we're thinking it's all right. The kids are thinking it's all right. Society's saying it's all right to do this. So when you hear your kids out there talking about homeless people, or hey, let's go get a paintball gun and shoot them with it, you may laugh first. You may think, that's funny. But in reality, you got to stop it. You got to say, get a hold of yourself and say, hey, wait, time out. It goes further. Next time it may not be a paintball. You know, we played pranks back in the 80s with water balloons from hotel rooms and so forth. Now people are just pranking and killing people at the same time. So you got to stop it. You got to educate your kids. Also, another major reason why these attacks occur is that homeless people don't have a lock and a window and a door to prevent them from becoming victims. So right off the bat, that makes them a target. Also, the lack of beds is a big issue, and we need to have more beds to protect the homeless. I will say this, yes, sometimes homeless people cause their own homelessness. Absolutely. Look at me. I'm a big guy. I eat a lot. If I have a heart attack, 911 is going to treat me, EMS is going to come and take care of me, and they're going to perform CPR and work on me. It's my own fault that I've chosen to eat cholesterol and eat fast foods. But I'm still going to be taken care of because I have money. I have insurance. I'm not homeless. So when a homeless person chooses to live the life that they live and it causes destruction on them, we should still be there as a society to take care of them. Paramedics, let's treat them a little bit better out there. Sometimes you get burnt out going to the same homeless person. And when you're getting burnt out and you're presenting that attitude towards that homeless person or making fun of them by calling them names when you got new trainees with you from the local college who have to do their internship, that sets the picture. Yes, sometimes the boy who called wolf will be out there, but understand these are people with very special needs and issues. Okay, this report is available at the National Coalition for the Homeless on their website. You can get a copy of it. It's also on the New York Times website today. And you can go to the website, National Coalition for the Homeless in Washington, D.C., and you can actually get a copy of some of these reports for the previous years. You can go to our website at www.homelessvoice.org. That's www.homelessvoice.org. I'm Sean Cannoni on this great day of August 8th, 2009, reporting live from the Homeless Voice Homeless Shelter for Homeless Voice TV, known as HV.TV. God bless America. Have a great day.